Hey guys, Saf here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video I want to talk about what it means to get a 5-star Godseeker Aniri Awakened Soul on that champion. The difference that makes in terms of how you can approach specifically Sand Devil 25, which is the highest stage where you farm that artifact oil. It does make a big difference to how you build that champion for that team. So far, I've shown two different ways you can build a Godseeker Aniri duo to actually beat Sand Devil. One at 24 with a full book solution, one at 25 with a 1-book solution in the A3. We'll review those briefly before we get into this video. But before I get any further, let's take a look at our sponsor for today's video. So thanks to Dungeon Hunter 6 for sponsoring today's video. Dungeon Hunter 6 is the first Dungeon Hunter game since 2015, and I can tell you it is well worth the wait. It is a free-to-play mobile ARPG with unique hero collector features that I have not seen in another game. You will take your heroes into hack and slash gameplay, where you will have to use your builds, your skills, and knowledge to fight some big bosses in the game. You can download now for free if you click on the link in my description, or you can scan the QR code that is on the screen right now. What is unique about Dungeon Hunter 6 is you make the bosses that you defeat serve your purposes. When you defeat a boss, not only can you loot them, you can also ride them and even fly them. And not only that, you can also summon up to 3 of them on the battlefield to become members of your team. You can make the bosses follow you and even perform unique combinations of skills in the battle. And that's not all. When you reach late game, you can even shapeshift into the bosses in order to harness all of their ultimate power. There are over 100 unique bosses for you to conquer and dominate, with multiple classes and units added every single month. I haven't played a game before where you can take control of bosses just like this. It's a very, very cool feature. Now, there's some very creative missions you have to take part in Dungeon Hunter 6, including some stealth missions where you have to actually turn yourself into a cat to beat it. That also includes the ability for you to mount in this game. I've not seen a mobile game where you have mounts that you can customize and choose to use. And all of these features are backed up with high quality 3D graphics, stunning skill animations, multicasting, and a very, very smooth gameplay experience. I've had a lot of fun with the combat in this game. You can also team up with your guildmates and take part in live guild wars. You can experiment with a wide variety of skill tree options to really find the build that works for you. And you can also trade items via an auction system. This game is very social. You can have a lot of fun with your friends. So download Dungeon Hunter 6 now for free on Android or iOS by using the link in the description below, or if you're on PC, you can scan the QR code that is on the screen right now. If you download the game using my link, you will get yourself a free special starter pack worth $50. That pack contains 10 summoning scrolls, a free SSR Lieutenant, the Demonic Wolf, and an accessory pack. And if you use your game account to enter the Lucky Spin event, you can also try and win some great prizes like an iPhone Pro Max, a PS5, or an Apple Watch, and many more starting October the 13th. Check the description for the full details. So thanks again to Dungeon Hunter 6, and I will see you in game. So why is 5-star so important for Godseeker Aniri? Well, most blessings in this game get incredibly powerful at 5-star. There are a few that work at 1-star really well, things like Brimstone, Polymorph, they work quite well at 1-star, but really it's the 5 and 6-star where souls kind of become very strong with the blessing components. And it's because at 5-star, specifically with Miracle Heal, that's the one we're going to be looking at here, the chance becomes 100%. So if you don't know what Miracle Heal does, if you've lost maximum HP, Miracle Heal, when you heal, will restore some of your lost maximum HP. It restores the destroyed component of your maximum HP. And in Sand Devil, it has a mechanic which destroys your max HP. More often than not, a Godseeker Aniri fails because you've lost too much max HP, you don't take enough turns, and you can't restore the missing HP back because essentially the heal from stuff like Regen set and Immortal set is based on your maximum HP. So by destroying your max HP, you're destroying the quality of the heal from that regen set. So that's where a lot of the time it fails. So if you can restore a lot of that max HP, then you can obviously maintain a much more healthier team. It's much easier to build a 100% team. And 5-star is the key breakpoint, because up until 5-star, it's always a chance you might restore maximum HP. And even at 75%, it's just not good enough. Once we get to 5-star, it's 100% chance. Every time you take a turn, your regen will proc. If the boss is asleep, you will restore 20% of your regen heal as max HP, which means that you can run incredibly slow because you don't have to match the boss because you don't need those extra turns. Now, this is a team that I want to shout out right now. This is a team that was kind of educated to me, shown to me, I think originally by Biohack. I'll put a link in the description to his initial video, and I'll put a card up here so you can go watch where this came from. He kind of came up with this concept that actually if you hit 5-star, you can run the champions really slow. I've run it through my turn meter calculator, so I know the exact slowest pace you could possibly go before this concept will break. But it was his concept, fair play. I want to give a shout out. It's a very innovative idea. I didn't even think it could work until I saw it happen. And I was like, oh, that's actually ingenious. I think a big component was when they rebalanced Miracle Heal, because originally Miracle Heal, you had to be 100% at 6-star, but they brought 100% down to 5-star when they did a few sort of blessing rebalances. So I think that did make a difference. So 5-star is the break point. So let's talk about how I built my original 25 team. The original team I was running with was Godseeker Aniri and Ninja with 3 food. Now, before we all lose our minds in chat, in comments about Ninja, there are alternatives to Ninja. They're not as efficient, they're not as good. Ninja will always be better, but you can run alternatives. And the alternatives are, the best one in my opinion is going to be Chronum. And technically you don't even need Godseeker Aniri for the Chronum. You can basically just run Chronum on his own, because he has this mechanic with Jamasa specifically, where if Jamasa's on the team, he will revive every 4 turns. So he basically does the Godseeker Aniri pass revive to himself every 4 turns. And he can do place the burn and activate the burn then on this one here with this multiple times. So he is the best option if you don't have Ninja. You can get him from referrals. You just have to grind it yourself. I am working towards that. That's why I can't show it right now. I'm not far away. I just need to do 2 more referrals here to get the thing. One of my community members, Jessica, has been helping and has done 2 for me, as has Magnadra and my free-to-play account here. So we're close to getting the Chronum. We just need to kind of grind those 2 out. So then I can actually show it as an alternative. But he is, in my opinion, the best alternative. He is farmable. You can acquire him. It's not a payment thing, so you don't have to run the Ninja. The Ninja is the best, however. And you will have affinity issues on both. We'll talk about those in a moment. The other option is you can run something like Walking Tomb Dreng. He is kind of like the original go-to. The only thing I would say is ideally you don't want them to be as tanky. You want them to die to some extent, the burner. You don't really want Walking Tomb Dreng because he's very tanky. And the longer the fight goes on, the more risk you have of needing to have a bigger Aniri build. I actually tried it a little bit with Walking Tomb Dreng, and I have to push the gearing a little bit harder on my Godseeker Aniri. I might even have to go about 10 speed faster just so that I get an extra attack in here, just because it's taking too long, because Walking Tomb Dreng is one of the slowest options. Mainly because, yes, he will place the burn, but he can't really activate multiple times. The other really good option, if you've got it, is Supreme Galek, because he will activate multiple times on this A2 as well. You're looking for champions that have multiple activations of a burn. That's the ones you really want to go towards to get this done. Some of the options that I've seen being thrown out there as well is a Gnut option, where you can just try and like bulldozer it. But without debuffs, you'll have to hit extreme crit damages to probably get anywhere near the cap. And even then, it's going to be really hard. So you can, if you want to, go for this A3 Blessed Bash one-shot strategy. It might do it in a decent amount of time as well. I know a couple of people in my community and my stream last night were telling me about Gnut as an option as well. So yes, this video is focused on Ninja, but Ninja doesn't have to be the champion. There are alternatives before everyone loses their mind in comments that you can't get Ninja anymore. So the team that I used to run was a 2-star Godseeker Aniri in Regen and Defiant. Defiant is better than Immortal because the minus 15% damage taken from AoE often or not is going to be more effective HP than the 3% healing you're getting back from the Immortal set. We've got it in this set here, and we're running at 272 speed with 4.4k defense and 56k HP. And we're also running this, the mastery for speed when allies die, because we're using 3 food, right? So we have to run incredibly fast to make this work. And this is the utter base of this version of this team. This is the slowest you can possibly run this version of Godseeker Aniri. We have to bring it into here. See, I was testing this out earlier. Bring the Ninja back in here a second. You have to make a team for it as well, because you need to open with the A1. So I've kind of got this team saved up here that basically just allows Godseeker Aniri. We need to swap out my old one, put my old one back in here just to make sure, so we can show how the difference is. And all you have to do is make sure you open. The video for this is on the channel. You can go see that video if you want. But the idea here is you basically just run this team with a bit of food, any food champions you want, like we can use these 3 here. So with the Godseeker Aniri at 2-star, we need to make sure we open with the A1, and then all we are going to be doing is running parallel with the boss. So we're going 1-to-1 with the boss to increase the healing. So you can see here, we'll run this team so we can have a comparison of the time and different savings we're going to have here. So we open with the A1, the nuke comes in, and then the way that it's going to work is, because the Aniri is going 1-to-1, you need a very specific book requirement, which can be difficult for people to acquire. It has to be at least 1 on the revive, but no more than 1 on the revive, and the passive needs to have at least 1 book, right? So you can put as many books on the passive as you want, but the revive can't have more than just the 1 book on it, otherwise this team setup won't work with these speeds. There are other variants that allows a 5-booked cooldown on the A2, on the revive, but this one specifically requires a 6-turn cooldown on the A3 revive. So you can see it's a pretty good time, but it is still, it's going to take a good 2 minutes. So I'm going to jump to the end now so we have a final result. So you can see here, this has been completed in 2 minutes. This is actually on the faster side. Normally, this is around about... It tends to be 97, 103, or 114 turns. It is all dependent on Ninja, right? Because Ninja is weak affinity here. So we have Ninja in Affinity Breaker because his sole job is to wake up from his revive, use his A2, then die again so we don't use turns. Now, Ninja in this case is going to be a case of how many times does he weak hit. The more weak hits, the longer the run. But it's about 2 minutes run, which is already quite fast. But you saw the build that I had to create for the Godseeker Aniri. 272 speed with that level of defensive stats is very difficult to achieve. Now that we got 5-star, this is the difference we can actually build here. We've got the Godseeker Aniri down here, still in regen defiant, because as I said, it's the most effective HP we can have here. It is regen for the health, for healing. We have to have regeneration, and defiant for the 15% AoE damage reduction. Masteries wise, we're still pretty much running the same thing. We generally take improved parry because often than not, the thing that will hurt you the most is the critical hit. You need to mitigate the critical damage you take on that 15% chance. It is not about the constant damage you take. You can heal that back. It's the big burst of damage that will normally cause you to fail. So improved parry reduces the critical hits you take in a greater scale. So that's just preferable. We take the rejuvenation to increase the value of healing. We also could take shadow heal because the boss will heal as well. So you can take a little bit of benefit back from here for that shadow heal. This doesn't really matter. There's nothing else to put. And then you're taking healing blessings and HP. You're just basically taking all the masteries that can help you healing. This is the only mandatory one, Spirit Haste. You can, if you want to, not take the Elixir of Life and go for the turn meter, but we don't actually want to take turns here. We want to heal more. So Elixir of Life is more preferable. But that's the mastery setup. We have her fully booked. There's no booking needs here. Actually, fully booked is better. You kind of want to go that route. 5-star Miracle Heal. And the build that we've got, remembering that the last build was 272 speed, this one is 187 speed. And this isn't even as low as you need to go. The lowest speed that you can go here is 182 speed. 181 technically, but for safe purposes, I would say 182. So you can go near enough 90 speed slower and still make it work with a 5-star Miracle Heal. I've got it at 4.8k defense, and you can see because of this, I can push the defensive stats significantly higher. I can build this champion a lot tankier. Now, I have got some very strong gear. We've got a 20 and some speed here, although the resistance, the other stats are not great. We've got a defense percentage gloves with a little bit of HP rolling. We've got, these pieces are not amazing. The helm is decent at a HP, but ideally you'd want defense, not attack percentage. This is a pretty good shield. This one is very good for what you'd want. You're getting everything you need. And we do have 20% on there as well. So we do have some good tankiness. The ring is kind of insane. The amulet is kind of insane. So we're stacking up defensive stats here. So it is it's a good build, but you can probably survive this with less stats here as well. You don't need to go so extreme. I would definitely recommend you hit a minimum of about 4.5k defense, because defense will stop the destruction of your max HP. The more damage you take, the more maximum HP you lose. So that's a key thing. It's a bit of a weird effective HP calculation to do, where actually you need to push a little bit higher defense. The more defense you push, the less destruction you're going to have. So we'll run this now. And the good thing is with this setup, we do not need an AI setup, because we don't need to make sure she opens with the A1 first. We can actually just make sure she opens with whatever skill. So if we just find the 5-star Godseeker Aniri here, she'll die straight away. So we're going to run this here. And the setup is pretty much the same in the sense that the champion lineups with the food, you still need the food, you still need Ninja in position 2 and Aniri in position 1. But the difference is now, where we were taking 1 turn every single time, the boss will take 2 turns when he does his A1. So you'll notice that we revive, we heal, revive, we do another heal here. So we're keeping that healing going. This nuke will come in, which is absolutely fine. The less that you really don't want your Ninja to live, because Ninja will take turns and it'll slow you down. Once we get this double A1 here, that is when she will skip a turn. That's the time saving here. So the boss does the A2, and then the boss will take 2 A1s, but Aniri won't take a turn between the two, right there. And instead, she'll take it just at the end, and then she dies. So you can see already, we're at like 45 seconds, we've already got the boss down to nearly like below half HP. It's very, very, very fast. And this can only get faster when we get a 5-star ninja, because then we can protect the smite debuff that he is placing. Right now, if he places smite, it goes kind of like in an unprotected state, and when the boss wakes up, he cleanses all the debuffs, so you don't get the secondary smite component. If smite is protected, you'll get a brimstone proc every time the boss wakes up, which is a big chunk of damage, so you could probably save yourself an extra 20 seconds again. See, that smite just got cleansed, which is very frustrating. But even on this run here, you can see we're at turn 65, and we've almost killed it in 1 minute 20 seconds. Now, the last run that I did, 2 minutes, is the fastest that I have seen it run over 2 Sand Devil tournaments. This is doing it in 1 minute 30 pretty consistently. Again, you're still fighting the Ninja affinity issues here, so we got to wait for this to go through. Ninja will kill it on the next rotation. At 1 minute 44, 81 turns, because obviously Sand Devil is a turn count tournament often. We have basically saved ourselves, on average, about 45 seconds with this 5-star Godseeker Aniri. So the minimum stats you need is 182 speed on your Godseeker Aniri. The Ninja build is in a random thrown together Affinity Breaker set. He is just an Affinity Breaker. That will give me a 50-50 chance that he does a weak hit on the A2. It's much better to run Affinity Breaker for one-hit wonder skills. If you want to fight over a longer period of time, you're much better off just running more speed so that you just take more skills. So rather than trying to counteract the weak hits, just go faster and go and use that skill again. That's generally the way that you run it. Whereas in this situation, all we care about Ninja is his A2, because he's going to place the burn and activate the burn. So Affinity Breakers are really good here. You can see I've got him at 226 speed and enough accuracy that he's going to land his effects. I don't really care about any other stats other than making sure that he's got a reasonable amount of speed that he can stay fast. This could probably be dropped like 10 speed, I would imagine. So I just double checked the speed requirements. I've got him at 226. You can run him as low as 150 speed. He doesn't require speed, because when he wakes up, he's going to get 50% turn meter from the Godseeker Aniri revive. So 150 speed with enough accuracy, and he will land his burns. He doesn't need to take any other actions. It's more preferable that he dies. If he dies, you're taking less turns. That's going to make it more efficient for your turn-based tournaments, and it's going to make your time more efficient in the Sand Devil. And it is reproducible. As I said, you can substitute Ninja for someone like Cronum. Dreng can work, but you can see, eventually the Miracle Heal can't counteract. I'd imagine Dreng will work better when Godseeker Aniri is 6-star, so that she gets more Miracle Heal restoration. But at the 5-star, Dreng is taking too long. Supreme Garlic will be a great substitute as well. Maybe someone like Sulfurion, one of the new Void legendaries that's just come out. Sisia, I never know how to say her name. She could do it as well. But this is a farmable, it's 100%. I've run this about 15 times since last night just to see if it's going to work. It hasn't failed on me yet, with the other one used to fail on me like 1 in 50, 1 in 40, just because if you've got a bad series of events with lots of crits, it could be awkward. Whereas right here, right now, it's absolutely fine. She's staying alive every single time. Because she's able to take less turns, we're able to get through it a lot quicker. Therefore, we're not taking as much like damage, essentially, where before she would. So yeah, this is a great option if you have a spare ninja you're not using. You get that 5-star Godseeker Aniri Soul. It's a quick way to farm this dungeon, unless you're going to run something like the Kraken team, which runs like a Riho, Siphi, double Gnut or something like that with a Kaimar that you can just one-shot it. This is normally the best accessible option if you've got these champions available. If you've got a ninja substitute, you can do it. Then you're absolutely fine. And I think there are plenty of ninja substitutes out there now. They're not as successful in terms of time as ninja, but they're you know, they're adequately good. So there we go, guys. That is 35 tier 2 eternal essence well spent. That is going to save me about 30 to 40 seconds per run every single time there's a Sand Devil tournament on. That is about a half an hour to like an hour's time that I don't have to run automatically in this dungeon every single time there's a tournament on. That is a big time saver, and time for me is the most important asset in my life. So I'm pretty happy with that. I hope that was of interest to you. As I said, the key points to take away from this video: 182 speed minimum for Godseeker Aniri, fully booked, and Ninja can be whatever speed you want, but make sure you build him squishy. An Affinity Breaker is a good idea. Godseeker Aniri has to be either regen immortal. Immortal is fine, but regen defined is better. There you go, guys. As always, if you like these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you get alerted when we release a new video. I tend to do videos pretty much every other day or every day if I can. We do live stream as well on a Monday and a Thursday on this channel on YouTube. We won't be probably in the next week as this video is going out, because we will be in Las Vegas for TwitchCon as at the HH Gaming Crew, so I won't actually be at my PC to be able to stream, but normally it's Monday and Thursdays we stream. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video.